Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day to start things off. On Saturday, after Bitcoin's days of relative stability at $4,300, a fresh wave of selling pressure washed over crypto investors across the globe, sending Bitcoin well below its purported support levels at $4,000 and $3,800. The move, which came alongside an influx of trading volume, came seemingly unanswered at first. Bitcoin's market cap shriveled to a mere $62 billion while altcoins underwent a sharp sell-off, sending this industry's cherished assets off metaphorical cliffs. Although the market has seen a respectable recovery, that didn't stop this industry's critics from taking to Twitter with glee, claiming that their nonsensical predictions had been proven right. For those who weren't here a couple of days ago, I can't remember this guy's name. It's not Jim Morrison. It's the guy. He has hair. He's the guy. He has the guy with the face. Nouriel Rubini. He has been, for some reason, he's obsessed with cryptocurrencies, and he's been talking about exactly how far the market's going to go down. And the moment, any single time that cryptocurrency prices have started falling down, this guy completely loses his mind on Twitter with a bunch of other people, and they talk about how bad this is and how bad so-and-so is. And he's one of the main bears, if you will, when it talks about how he thinks not even that Bitcoin has a bottom at this price or this this coin is going to fall to this. He thinks everything is going to completely fall to zero like relatively soon, because he thinks that the entire crypto market has absolutely no value. And this is where we talk about the bears euphoria. Says you may have read the title of this and wondered, if bears are euphoric, why is the CEO of Shapeshift bullish on Bitcoin? And the following tweet issued on Saturday night, which was brief and to the point, the epitome of well-crafted message. Eric Voorhees, who is Shapeshift's longtime chief, excitedly exclaimed that crypto bears have entered into a stage of euphoria. He said the collapse is simply the euphoria stages of the bears. While some would see this message as a bearish statement for Bitcoin short-term prospects, Voorhees is obviously referring to the well-known psychology of a market cycle chart that investors in any industry incessantly reference to, and here it is right here so everyone can get a pretty good look at it. I saw this, I've seen this years ago, and I haven't seen it really since then. I guess not many people in the cryptocurrency space thought there was any type of a correlation between a market, or rather a chart that was made for people in Wall Street, that it would have to some way correlate to the cryptocurrency market. Now we see, after a couple of years of being in the crypto space, that this definitely has a direct correlation to exactly what is happening in the cryptocurrency space. This is, and it's really interesting to see where we were and kind of where we are right now. And it's kind of not disturbing, but a bit annoying that humans always make the same mistake over and over. Like, we know how history repeats itself, but the fact that it actually does and we can't really do anything about it because we're always going to follow this same exact cycle is a bit frustrating. And I remember around this time when everyone was like, no one believed that the market was actually going that high. I think at this point, Ethereum had gone from, it was around 8 to 120, somewhere around that time. And everyone was like, okay, I think this could be real. The market may slip back down. We may have a couple of problems. When we got to the point, got to tell everybody to buy, that was when a lot of other traditional market leaders were raising their hands and saying that there could be a problem in the market. There was a prominent investor, and he said he had been thinking about getting into cryptocurrencies for about 3 to 4 years. And he said he walked into a shop, and he said, I think this old lady came up to him and was, asking him, I know you work on Wall Street. Have you bought any Bitcoin? And he said when he realized that this 70, 80-year-old woman knew what Bitcoin was, and not only that, she had also mentioned that she had purchased some. He said, yeah, the market's going to crash relatively soon after we have a huge spike. We were also here as well. I'm just like everybody else. When we have these certain, and it's really insane that we don't realize that we're in these same, that when we hit this level of euphoria, especially at the end of 2017, that we don't have in our heads, okay, something must be going wrong, because everyone on the planet is feeling the same level of, oh my gosh, we're all going to be incredibly rich if the market continues to go a lot higher. By the time we got around here, I think this was Bitcoin 12, 13, 14,000, somewhere around here. And we remember we jumped back up. You can even look at the charts. It did the exact same thing. It's really completely ridiculous. And we thought as we shot up around back here, we're definitely going to have another rally. This is not the end of it. There's no way that this is the end of it. And I remember people were like talking about what they were going to buy with their stuff and how much money they were going to make and when they would pull out of the market, because they knew that the market was going to go back up, and yet they were still more intelligent than other people. They knew when to take their money out of the market, and it still wasn't yet. We were due for another rally, and that's when they would take it out. For those who were here beginning of the year, anxiety, denial, I'm sure a lot of you remember this. And I think just to kind of speed things up along, we're somewhere in between anger and depression. And I want to say we're probably around here. And if you read right here, for those who are not looking at the screen, it says depression. It says, my retirement money is lost. How can we pay for all this new stuff? I'm an idiot. My comment section has slowly flown from, oh my gosh, everybody huddle, we have a major problem, to people, you have to all remember this. When everyone in my comment section was just full, I've never had so many angry comments thrown my way in my entire life. I guess we'll have the same exact thing during the next market cycle as well. A lot of people angry at me for talking about certain news that I was talking about, or that I was going over, or the things that I was reading, or the things that I was telling other people to read and look into. A lot of people have been, I guess it's just general anger that I mentioned other coins in other videos a couple of months ago, and the fact that those coins have gone down and that I'm directly responsible for their losses. I guess is just normal mentality. But where we are right now in the comment section, I think we've somewhere in here, and I say that because I've seen a lot more. It makes me, I don't want to say sad and upset, but the fact that people are posting things like this, and people are talking about that they took out loans a couple of months ago, that money's completely gone. People don't know how they're going to tell their wives that they've lost this money. A lot of people's wives don't believe them, and they are angry with them that they got into the market, especially if they got in around here and they've lost a huge amount of money. A lot of people I've noticed have been talking about that they are done with crypto in general, that they sold everything at the prices where we are right now. I cannot and never will tell you what to do with your money, but a lot of people have been, I don't know if these comments are just genuine people, if everyone is trying to whatever, but I've received a lot of very depressing comments lately. And this is usually the point of where the tree has been shaken so much that all the, I don't want to say weakest, but the loosest apples fall to the ground, while the tree then continues to start growing once again. So this is where a lot of people believe that we are right now in the cryptocurrency space. Similarly to how Bitcoin bulls were in euphoria last December prior to the collapse, Voorhees evidently believes that now bears, those on the other side of the market equation, have entered their own euphoric stage, alluding to the fact that a reversal and bottoming in this nascent market is in our grasp. However, as with any market, it is hard to predict how long or to what extent a phase will last, leading to which, or of which, to speculation regarding Bitcoin's next bottom, both in terms of dollars and when, as reported by Ethereum World News previously. However, the $3,000 level is a proposed bottom that has been widely referred to by this industry's leading analysts and commentators, which include Anthony Pompliano, Matty Greenspan, Michael Morrow, along with dozens of others. Here's a little tweet. There's a chart. If you even look at it right here, this is the same exact, and it's absolutely disgusting. Pay attention to this little mountain range thing right here. It's the exact same thing, and this is probably what's the most annoying just about living, I guess, is that we keep saying that we're not going to repeat history, but we do it every single time. And then if you look at these dips, you'll notice this is kind of like the main support level, and then we dip right around here, and this is the collapse, oh my gosh, the world is ending phase. And if you scroll up here, you have this line of support, and look at that dip that we have right there. It's lower than all the other levels of support. And it's just, I guess, miraculous to see how things end up turning out. Voorhees' most recent comment comes just weeks after the industry insider spoke of Bitcoin's long-term prospects, a no-brainer for many die-hard decentralists and libertarians. Speaking with Naomi Brockwell, a crypto-loving film/TV producer, Voorhees noted that while crypto's rise to worldwide dominance may be inevitable, it needs people, innovators, and startups to put in the elbow grease to make it happen. Keeping this in mind, speaking from a personal level, the Bitcoin pioneer then added that he has dedicated his whole life to build, maintain, and promote projects in the industry to bolster crypto's adoptions. And so far, some would argue that cryptocurrencies are well on their way to the global stage. As put by Voorhees, he said, and I do quote, "It's certainly come a hell of a long way since I started. Every financial institution in the world is watching it. Every government is somewhat bothered and or a little nervous about it. Tens of millions of people have used it, and most people in the developed world have heard of it at this point. So yeah, it makes a huge progress, but there is still a ways to go," end quote. No one, I have to say this for the sake of the sanity of everyone in the world, no one can tell you when the prices are going to go anywhere. Nobody knows what the prices are going to be. But the fact that this chart is the exact same chart that we have right here, the same exact other bumps up, and that we have entered this, at least in my opinion, into this little dip right here, I really don't know what to say. I can't tell people when to buy. It just completely, people thought around this phase that we were, and to be fair, we have a lot of people who were around this phase. I think this is when we jumped back up to, I think Bitcoin hit 8,800 and we were trying to get back above that 10,000. For those who were here, remember that? That was a really big thing. I think we hit 8,800. I think it was around August or July. And everyone kept on saying that, we needed to hit 10,000. That was the level right around here. And then we fell back down and everyone kind of lost their minds. But we have a lot of people saying that this is like the actual bottom. We also have people calling for like a lower price. But as of right now, at least at this moment in time, people are saying that 3,000 is the bouncy point. Take it how you will. No one knows exactly what's going to happen, but history does repeat itself, and it looks like regardless of what we want or how we think things are going to work out, we follow a market trend, and that's just kind of how things go. Yeah, let's move on. Next up, Coincheck announced yesterday that the crypto exchange had resumed depositing and purchases services for XRP and Factom tokens. These additions mean that Coincheck has now resumed services of all cryptocurrencies available for trading on the exchange at the time services were suspended. Nearly 10 months after a reported 523 million NEM tokens were stolen from 260,000 people at the beginning of this year. It's crazy how quick time flies. Japanese cryptocurrency exchange Coincheck has resumed NEM trading, having worked with external experts on NEM, Ethereum, and risk handling to improve its security. The announcement clarifies that as of November 12, 2018, Coincheck users will be able to purchase NEM or use it as payment, as well as withdraw or deposit Japanese yen. The exchange has also added trading for Ether and Lisk. So when this hack ended up happening, I think this was the beginning of the end for crypto exchanges kind of lollygagging and being on their own. It was a very difficult moment, especially by the time this actually started happening. This is when the market was already slowly or rapidly trending on its way down, and everyone had their fingers crossed that we wouldn't have any more negative news that could potentially harm the market in some sort of way. This is around the same exact time, which I don't think a large amount of this is a coincidence at all. For those who weren't here at the beginning of the year, by the time Bitcoin was around like $19,900, it was like skimming the surface of $20,000. Multiple governments started coming out talking about that they were going to ban crypto, or they were going to heavily regulate it, or that just wasn't going to be allowed in their country. And it was every 3 days there was a new country doing this, and that was already bad enough. And then we started having news that multiple cryptocurrency exchanges were being hacked. My personal opinion is that everything was a bit too coordinated to seem haphazard and or random. But it's nice to hear that Coincheck is back. If I'm not mistaken, I think Coincheck is in Japan. I think they were the largest cryptocurrency exchange there. And when that ended up happening in the past, Japan had been like the place that everyone kind of looked up to when it came to what should be done with cryptocurrency regulations, because I think they also have, if I'm not mistaken, I think cryptos are actually legal tender in their country, meaning it's like actual legal money, and everyone was like, we should look to them. And then I think they had multiple hacks on multiple exchanges, and this is when their government was like, okay, no, we're going to also heavily regulate. And that's kind of the story. But the news of the day is that they have finally resumed trading for all cryptocurrencies, with the last two being XRP and Factum. So they should be going back at full steam. And let's hope, well, I was going to say, let's hope that nothing else happens to them again. But the way that the Japanese system now works is that if you want to be an exchange, you need to have so many safeguards and all these other things that it is, I don't want to say like super unlikely of a hack, but what other major cryptocurrency exchanges are now doing is that unlike Mt. Gox many years ago, who had 100% of their tokens, I think, on just 2 computers that were sitting inside of a small room, if you can believe it, most cryptocurrency exchanges now usually never have more than 1% of their coins that they're holding on their exchanges at any time. They're usually, all the other 99% are held in cold storage, and they are then accessed when other people actually need access to their funds. Anyway, that is the people were very excited that this actually ended up happening. So yeah, let's move on. Next up, I thought this was kind of cool. The cryptocurrency exchange known as OKEx has launched a new value-added service for its users. This new service is known as Piggy, and as the name suggests, it allows users to earn daily interest using their spare digital assets. Although initially available to a tester group, the new service can be found in the Account tab on the user interface of the trading platform. It will soon be available to all users on the platform. I have never used OKEx. If you have used OKEx, once again, and you have found that the platform is good, or you liked it, or withdrawing your money and or depositing your money, you had no problem. It was, relatively simple and or clean isn't the word I'm looking for. Not, I think that's a song, Simple and Clean. Easy. If it was easy for you to take your money out or put your money back in, that is, please tell other people in the comment section below. Users can transfer assets between their OKEx account and the OKPiggy anytime in real time and without a minimum limit. Interest will start accruing on the 2nd day. Rewards will be credited on the 3rd day. There's also an auto balance transfer function that, once activated, will enable the automatic transfer of the balance in the wallet to the OKPiggy. The new service will allow depositing and withdrawal freedom. There will also be a daily reward of tokens and no minimum deposit requirements. The service guarantees high security of user assets. OKEX's head of operations, his name is Andy Cheung, was enthusiastic about the launch of the new service, and he said, "We always strive to provide greater value to our users and offer them access to a much wider range of convenience and rewards. With the launch of the new service, users can better manage their assets and also enjoy stable returns regardless of market volatility," end quote. At the moment, the new service only supports the digital assets on OKEX's spot margin trading. So at the moment, it is only going to support Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS, XRP, Tether, Litecoin, and Ethereum Classic. Additional coins will be added. I'm looking for, okay. According to OKEx, the interest rate will be calculated as follows. The daily interest rate of OKPiggy is 85% of daily margin trading interest received by OKEx, total amount of all supported tokens of all users of the day. Part of the daily margin trading interest received by OKEx will be used as an interest for the OKPiggy. OKEx will take 15% of the interest received to cover the operation costs. However, this part of the income is injected to the margin trading fund. The remaining 85% of daily margin trading. Okay, I was looking for like an exact amount. Like, you will receive 0.5% a day or 1% a day. I think that the numbers there are kind of ridiculous on purpose. The point is, this is kind of cool. A lot of people have been looking for other ways to make money while the cryptocurrency market has been going down. This could be your way of doing so, or it simply could be, and I mean realistically, if you are, banks offer like, I think it's like 0.02% for an entire year of interest. if you can receive even that per day, you're already making out better than you would in the banking industry, and especially because you're not actually selling your cryptocurrencies, you're actually just putting them in the piggy bank, which also then gives you interest, which I should then assume you would also then be allowed to be able to take your cryptocurrencies out of the OK piggy bank and use them on a regular daily basis as if you were just using them normally. Means to me that not only are you not selling your cryptocurrencies, but it still could be an easy way to maybe, get a couple of cents dropped in there every single day. I wish it was more of a just a hard number, so we knew exactly how much money people would be getting. I just woke up, and I know I say this every single day, but it's my thing. Like, I wake up, I run to the computer, I make a video, just how I am. But this is kind of cool. If you have used this, or if you plan on using this, or rather, come back here in like 3 days after you've used this and tell other people how it was for you, because I think this could, it's just another way to make money on the side that is essentially for free, especially if they're doing it out of the kindness of their hearts. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, let's move on. So this is actually kind of interesting as well. Bitcoin search entries grow in a moment in which the market received New Year lows. Bitcoin was trading below 4,000, blah, 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 so and so and so. Bitcoin search entries in Google Trends were the highest since March. What does this mean for Bitcoin? Bitcoin has experienced a very hard year. Most of the virtual currencies have lost 50 to somewhere 99% of their value. Bitcoin was not the exception. During 2017, Google Trend shows that interest in Bitcoin grew during all the year. This is written horribly. This is completely different from what happened during 2018. When the current year started, Bitcoin search entries dropped as well as the Bitcoin price. However, the last weeks were very moved for the crypto market. And okay, I can't read through that. It's not properly written. What it comes down to is this in the simplest form. Last year, sometime towards the beginning of the year as well, there was a little spike in Google entries for what is Bitcoin, how does Bitcoin work, can I invest in Bitcoin, should I invest in Bitcoin, the normal things that people are typically looking for. And that correlated directly with people actually finding out what Bitcoin was and actually putting money into the market. Since the crypto market has been going down, the number of search entries for Bitcoin have completely almost like flatlined. But the last couple of weeks, we've definitely seen an uptick in people wondering what Bitcoin is, how does Bitcoin work, which is kind of interesting because it tends to end up usually happening when the market is down, and you would assume that most people wouldn't be searching for something, especially when the price is really low. Human psychology tells us that most people tend to be into something when the price is going higher, and therefore they can get into it because they want to know how everyone else is making money. Therefore, I also want to make money as well. I think there was also a time where I think XRP and EOS were like the top searched coins, and this was also correlating to like a uptick in their prices as well. And what we have right now is pretty much a reflection of what we had in 2017, where the search trends for Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin, how is Bitcoin so-and-so, when will Bitcoin bottom, blah, 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 are also starting to go up as well. And this could potentially then correlate, once again, maybe to another market run-up, because it's usually a very good indication when people all around the world are using a search engine and they're searching for even just the word Bitcoin in particular. It shows that there's interest in the cryptocurrency or in the market or exactly what's going on with it. And this usually sometimes indicates that there could be a new amount of energy flowing towards the market as everyone is trying to look for what this magical digital internet money actually is. Last up, we have Bakkt in the news. Oh my gosh, it's written by the same person. Bakkt could be on track to start developing the phase 2 of its roadmap. Bakkt is the platform owned by the Intercontinental Exchange, and that has been thought for institutional investors. The stage 2 of the operations include the participation of Starbucks and Microsoft. The information was released by The Block just a few days ago. According to some reports, Bakkt is working on its investment platform for institutional investors. A few days ago, Kelly Loeffler, who is the CEO of Bakkt, said in a Medium article that they were delaying the launch of the platform to the beginning of next year. The previous date was a couple days from now, December in 2018. She said, given the volume of interest in Bakkt and work required to get all the pieces in place, we will now be targeting the 20... People keep making fun of me because my English accent slips out whenever I say this. I've become terrified of actually saying this date out loud. For those who don't know, I live in Europe. A lot of my friends are English, and they speak with an English London accent, and a lot of times I try to suppress it from my videos simply because I think it does sound a bit weird. I'm originally from the States, and I don't want them to like intermingle on the video because it would just be a little bit confusing. A lot of people have been asking, and I saw one of the rudest comments in the entire world a couple days ago. The guy was like, when you're talking, I can't tell if you're singing or just like trying to annoy my ears. It was something along the lines of that. So whenever I've said this date, it comes out as the 24th of January, 2019, and people were like, your English accent slipped out. And not that I try to suppress it, but I personally think it sounds a bit weird if I'm talking on the video and whatever. The point is, for our launch to ensure that our participants are ready to trade on day one, end quote. What this comes down to is, and a lot of people have been speculating, is that her wording, Kelly Loeffler, her wording is very particular in this. She pretty much it's fall. I apologize. The volume of interest in Bakkt, and a lot of people are trying to speculate if that means there's too much interest or if there's very little interest and they're trying to wait for more people to come in around this date and therefore bring up the volume of Bakkt or whatever. And as far as the work to get all the pieces in place, this could either mean that their systems aren't ready to handle the influx of people, or that a lot of people have been speculating that they may not have all their paperwork in order from the CFTC or the so-and-so, which I think would be kind of weird because Bakkt is being run by the people who run the New York Stock Exchange, so one would assume that they have all the proper paperwork for anything that could be going through their platform. Like, I don't think that there's like extra paperwork that they need to be a money transfer service to deal with commodities or to deal with securities. Pretty sure they have all that stuff, so there's a lot of speculation as to why they've pushed the date back. When the platform was announced, the ICE informed that they were working on with other brands such as Microsoft and Starbucks. The Phase 2 might use Microsoft's cloud solutions in order to allow individuals to buy and sell virtual currencies. It will also be possible to store and spend virtual currencies on a global network, and this is probably the most important part out of everything. Starbucks will also play an important role in Bakkt's plans to bring new customers to the virtual currency market. In the future, Starbucks customers could convert cryptocurrencies to US dollars and make purchases with them. For those who don't understand exactly what that means, a lot of people have been not confused, but like, why would they do that? So what we have right now and what a lot of people believe is actually going to end up happening, and I think is being kept secret on purpose, and this is why I think it's very exciting and why I'm a bit annoyed why they decided to delay the launch. It comes down to, if Starbucks has already signed on to be a blah, blah, blah part of Bakkt, and we will be able to, in some capacity, be able to spend cryptocurrencies at their place, whatever. What's going to end up happening is that they will receive the crypto, and that from the crypto there will be a third party in some way that is going to convert the cryptocurrencies into US dollars, and this is how the company themselves will then receive it. So the company will allow you to pay in cryptocurrencies. It'll go through a system, and that system will go to another bank or something like that, which will then convert that money into US dollars. So this is pretty much how it's going to work. The most exciting part for all of this is, for those who haven't been really paying attention, is that the New York Stock Exchange is massive, and the fact that they already have a big names such as Starbucks and Microsoft under their belt leads me to believe, or rather we have some type of a confirmation that Starbucks is going to be allowing. First of all, Starbucks is huge. I don't know what country everyone lives in. For those who have never been to Europe or to the States, or more specifically, if you have never walked around New York City, there are, I think, 4 Starbucks per block in Manhattan. It's actually one of the creepiest things in the entire world, because there's lines of people standing outside. So the fact that they're going to have that kind of reach is already completely remarkable. A lot of people are speculating that if Microsoft is a part of Bakkt, the cloud solution platform to allow individuals to buy and sell cryptocurrencies, that's already completely insane that Microsoft is going to be in that. But if we have some type of confirmation that we are going to be allowed to pay Microsoft for their services, for their computers, for their apps, so and so and so, through cryptocurrencies, this is why I believe that Bakkt is going to be such a very important thing for the spread of cryptocurrencies. A lot of people think that it's just going to be this Bitcoin futures platform. What they're developing is essentially going to be a framework so that companies around the entire world will be able to accept cryptocurrencies as a payment. This means that crypto won't even go mainstream. It'll just be stream. Like, it'll be every day. Remember when we were talking before, about like the word isn't hypernormalization. It's like the everyday usage of it. Like, this is exactly what they're trying to do. And like, it's just them, and people aren't paying attention. People are paying attention more to the actual, Bitcoin futures, which is going to be incredible for the price of Bitcoin as well, simply because they're going to be trading the futures daily back and forth. But we're going to have a situation where you can pay for anything. When we have Microsoft and Starbucks getting into the cryptocurrency space, imagine how many other smaller people are going to try and jump onto this as well, so that they can also get a piece of the pie. And then eventually, I think by the end of 2019, we're going to have at least, and I know this is a bit out there, I want to say 65% of the major retailers that we have out there are probably going to be accepting cryptocurrencies. And I don't know if it's going to be Amazon. I don't know if it's going to be Apple. I don't know if it's going to be so-and-so, your local shop. But when we have this huge expansion like that, with major names getting into it, because I can only assume the people from Bakkt have also said that they have more like things to share, more news and more adoption and blah, blah, blah. So I can only imagine imagine the amount of other companies who are contacting them on a daily basis to try and get involved in this, to be able to accept cryptocurrencies, because nobody wants to be left behind. And by the end of 2019, when we have multiple confirmation of all these other companies who are going to be using cryptocurrencies as a form of payment, then the smaller people are going to try and get in. What I think is going to be the most important part of all of this is when your local supermarket and your local bodega and all this other stuff, your local corner store starts getting into this. That's going to be the major tipping point, because crypto will then be everywhere. That's going to be the craziest part. Back in August, the vice president of partnerships and payments at Starbucks commented and said, and I quote, "As the flagship retailer, Starbucks will play a pivotal role in developing practical, trusted, and regulated applications for consumers to convert their digital assets into US dollars for use at Starbucks." End quote. Several new customers, mostly millennials, will be able to use Bitcoin and other virtual currencies for daily purchases. And that's what also gets me, and that's what completely drives me insane. The wording of this, it's to convert digital assets. It's not Bitcoin. It's not Bitcoin and Ethereum. The word digital assets in general lets me know, or rather I am trying to figure out how many other coins they're going to have listed. They've announced before that for Bakkt specifically, that they're only going to focus at the moment on Bitcoin because of its name, because of its liquidity. They released something, the people from Bakkt released something a couple days ago where they were talking about that they're open to the idea of other new coins on their platform, which has led speculation that we had in the other video to people talking about could Tron and XRP be added to the Bakkt platform. I don't really know about Tron, at least not right now. I could definitely see them going for Ethereum without a doubt. I can see them using Litecoin simply because it is another coin that they could definitely push money into. But I'm pretty sure that they also want to add the number 2 coin as it is a major name. But as far as converting digital assets, I wonder if this is going to be a like you go to Starbucks, they ask you how you want to pay. You say, I'm paying in crypto, and they ask you like what crypto you want to pay in, because I don't feel like they would just be focusing on one coin. And this is once again all speculation stuff floating around in my head. When we do get confirmation of exactly which digital assets are going to be allowed to be used in Starbucks and at Microsoft and potentially at Amazon and maybe at Apple and maybe on Google Pay and all this other stuff, these coins, in my opinion, are going to completely skyrocket, and I'm waiting. I'm hoping that as a nice little holiday gift next month, we have some type of word as to exactly which digital assets are going to be allowed. There are other companies working in order to launch platforms for institutional investors. Fidelity Investments and Goldman Sachs are planning to launch specific products for wealthier traditional investors. The virtual currency market has been in a bear trend since the beginning of this year, blah, 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 so and so and so. Phase 2 is going to be something quite interesting. I am very interested in exactly how this is going to work. I think a lot of people are, and I don't know if it's simply because of mainstream news outlets either being told to not talk about this, because you have to understand the same exact people who are into this own the news networks as well, and you can't let, this is how money works, you can't let normal people know about the gold that you're about to dig up. You tell the people, normal people, about it on your news platform after you have dug up the entire area and there's just dirt left. So you can't mention that you're kind of doing all of this stuff. It's just incredibly exciting for me. It has to be for all of you as well. I want to know exactly how this is going to work out. I want to know exactly what other companies are going to be using cryptocurrencies, and exactly which coins. If that doesn't trigger the bull market, I think nothing else will. I think we would need Satoshi to actually make an Instagram account or something like that to be able to like bring the market back up, because it's just nonstop good news after good news. But yeah, to finish all of this off, for those who have not noticed, the cryptocurrency market is red once again. I told you guys about a day and a half ago, I didn't feel like the crypto market going up was it. I didn't think it was at the time. Kind of is what it is. We should be used to this by now. Didn't mean to end it on a sour note. But the market is back down, so I hope that all of you have waited to put your money into the market. People are calling for a bottom, and I mean realistically, this is kind of how I see things. I know a lot of people disagree, and they talk about cost averaging and buying on the this and buying on the so and so. If you believe in the future profits of a coin, it shouldn't really, like, if you're looking for a space to get into the market, this is once again my personal opinion. It shouldn't really matter what a coin even is right now. I.e., if OKEx is 136 and you believe that at some point the price is going to hit $30, $40 per OKEx, it shouldn't really matter if you're trying to get in at 136 or 134 or 132 or 130. I understand that the sense makes sense, that they kind of add up. But for me, I just buy coins incessantly, as opposed to, I don't have time to wait to look at charts for things to fall down. I just continuously buy on the way down. When the prices hit around here, I try to buy up as much as possible and kind of continue on from there. Anyway, that's definitely going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you once again for watching and or listening. I hope your week is going well. I hope it continues to go well. Thank you once again for watching. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.